The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Cut it, Ethan. Cut it.
Kia ora e te whānau, welcome along to The Real Pod. This is your reality, puaka, whakaata, TV and Aotearoa pop culture all wrapped up in a lovely little bow. That's our podcast. Does that make sense? Oh, mic issues.
Wow, that was like poltergeist. Duncan's microphone just swung like you wouldn't believe.
It felt like a really bad review of me as a podcaster. I was like, no, thank you.
I think we should do a seance in this room for Halloween.
I don't like any of that sort of
Oh,
thing.
you don't like that?
I'm in.
No.
I'm in.
I've done an amazing... I told you I talked to David Longy.
I thought you were going to say David Lomas.
No, I do have some Lomas news though.
Okay.
Have we ever profiled Lomas?
No.
Now we're having an editorial meeting. This is great.
I think he should go on the long list.
Have I introduced us?
No.
I'm not sure. My name's Jane Yee, joined by Alex Casey and Duncan Grieve. We've got Ethan on the buttons today. T.I. here is busy preparing for a very fancy show that he's doing.
Yeah.
Do
Do we want to promo it?
Yeah.
Nah, 80s in the Auckland Live Cabaret season.
Yes, it's
Get your tickets.
Modern Māori
We've
Quartet.
got our tickets, haven't we?
Yes,
We've got a lovely amount of tickets.
we do. We've got
10 spot.
yeah. We've
Right
got
at the back.
we're at a 10 table with the naughty kids at the back.
What are your plans, Jane, in terms of how you're going to approach the situation?
I'm gonna sing and dance.
But I thought you were also going to say that you're...
I'm gonna pretend to be his mum and yell out, "That's my boy." I might even make a sign. He knows about it. He's on board with it. His mum lives in the Gold Coast, so I feel like it's just
Really?
Yeah, I'm
going to Goldie soon.
Okay, we'll go see his mum.
Are you going to go
Full
Shrek
circle.
4D?
Yes.
It's 7D, isn't it?
What?
Oh, yeah, we've talked about the Ds.
Oh yeah.
But you should return.
Yeah. Every time. That's basically where I'm
homecoming.
going. I just want to track down Mitch. How do I find Mitch? Listeners, I want to see Mitch in the wild. Like, imagine that.
Just stalk his Instagram, Mitch from Maths, by the way. We're giving context to people, right?
Oh, yeah. Mitch
Okay.
from Maths.
Coming up on the show, we are going to be breaking down Celebrity Treasure Island, every lovely, lovely moment and dramatic moment, very dramatic this week. We'll also be talking a little bit about The Masked Singer and a tiny bit about The Block as well. But first of all, it's the real news. First piece of real news is real. I've got fleas.
What?
No, she's moved back.
Into yourself or into your house?
Into my house.
Okay.
Okay, I have animals who are all up to date with their flea treatment. I can only assume it's either the children or, Duncan, I was thinking of you. Hedgehog is back.
Oh. I was like, I did come over to
What's
your
that
house
got to do with
recently.
Duncan?
Duncan told us that hedgehogs
They've got they're infested.
with fleas.
I love a hedgehog, and I once carried one around, like a little mite that I came upon, and then
Got covered in little mice.
just absolutely coated.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
They are unfortunately just spiky rodents
They're
covered
so
in fleas.
cute,
But they are
though.
so cute. And when you carry it around with its little snout.
When you see a hedgehog, that's one of life's absolute joys. Unfortunately, they are often sick when you see them.
Yeah.
Well, no,
or flat on
mine
the
comes
road.
out at night. He lives under the house.
Okay, so he's all good.
I think so. I don't know if it's the same Fred as last year because it's like gone for a long time. I thought he'd gotten squished. But might be the same, might be a relative, might be a whole new hedgie. I don't know. But I was concerned.
Is it a hedgie or a hoggy?
It's a hedgie, obviously. But the cats hang out under the house all the time. So I did a quick Google, cats v hedgehogs, and apparently they're fine, mutual respect. And
Yeah.
I've seen it in action. The cats, they look at it and they don't fuss, even though they will kill almost anything else in sight.
I mean,
Including
how
me,
do
I'm
you,
pretty sure.
How do you,
How could
how
you
do you get near a
possibly?
hedgehog
No,
with
no.
that sort of armour?
Anyway, do you want to see my flea bites?
Yeah. Show us. Oh my God.
Do you want to see Ethan? So it's
Plagues.
plagued.
And it is
plagued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of bra strap there.
Sorry. It's all right. It's 2022.
It's fine. You can show your straps.
That's the new slogan for the feminist movement. Show your straps. Anyway, so yeah, I've got
Wow.
fleas. Hopefully not on me. I don't think I've got any on me. I think I just had one.
So
trapped in
you
my
think
bed.
that the fleas went from hedgehog to cat to you?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I think the fleas went from hedgehog to cat, and then the flea went, oh, God, this cat's been flea treated. I'm jumping off immediately onto this lovely big bed. Yum. That's what the
What about your
fleas did.
jumper? It's a very
No,
nice jumper.
they're not in the jumper.
That seems lovely
I think
for a
I can
flea.
see a flea on. What's
That's
that?
not-
Is that not a flea?
No, it's not a flea.
What I had to do when I brought
Fluff.
those blankets home that were covered in fleas is I had to put them in the freezer. So maybe you should just go into a giant freezer for a while.
Yeah.
Because it kills fleas.
That sounds yum.
Does sound-
We need
does
to all
sound
your
cold.
food.
All right, let's keep moving.
Okay, keep
So
moving.
CTI.
Keep moving. I've got an email to read to you because it relates. It's about CTI. It's about, say, Dame Susan Devoy, in fact, and this comes from a Corny. I was just listening to the CTI recap and thought you might appreciate a funny little Dame Susan Devoy story. I work at where it's incredibly hard to find car parks. Even when you arrive early, you can be circling and driving up into the hills to find something. When I was pregnant last year, finding a park close by was even more important. A colleague let me in on the fact that the parks at the squash club were no longer being policed by any parking wardens, which led to a few glorious months of free parking. I told another workmate about it, but kept things very quiet, not wanting to upset the ecosystem. Things were going smoothly until I had a text from my workmate. She'd been told off before parking there by none other than Susan Devoy. I chanced my luck for a few more weeks until she pounced on me too. She seemed to be lying in wait for people to park there. She rapped on my window. I feigned ignorance, apologised and drove away. From squash champ to race relations commissioner to parking warden. And this was about 7:30 in the morning. She's so determined, tireless, crafty and a little bit petty. I think she'll do very well on CTI.
Wow.
That is wild.
That's an
dote.
amazing dote.
Huge dote.
Also, she's like that clamper guy. Like, Farron needs to get on this.
Yeah. yeah.
She brings that energy. Well, she is bringing that energy to CTI.
Massively bring that energy.
But that's not just for the tally. It's for all occasions.
I mean, when we had our chats, that was absolutely who she was as a person. But I mean, it's a lot, especially a pregnant person.
Yeah.
You know,
Off you hop.
really.
Doesn't matter. Rules are rules.
Yeah.
You know? Let's talk about. Well, no, we have to play the music, don't we?
What music?
Do you have any real news
Oh,
on
no,
it?
I saw someone who I thought was David Lomas at Billie Eilish wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
And was it?
TBC.
TBC.
All right. How are we going to see
On
this?
his own.
David Lomas probably listens.
To this pod? I mean, if he's across,
That's within
he needs to
scope.
stay across all
That's
the info.
Yeah.
All the info.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
going to be on it.
You could get in touch with David Lomas to find your missing David Lomas.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's just annoying because the night before, Elizabeth Banks went to Billie Eilish.
Oh.
Famous actor.
How was she here?
She's making a film here. You know, I'm always on Celebrity Watch. She's been spotted on Ponsonby Road, and she's rocked up Spark Arena on Thursday night.
Just like a normal human.
Just like a normie sitting in the bloody bleachers, and the
That-
nosebleeds.
Is. I just love it when a celebrity does something
And
normal.
Rita Ora's opening the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, I'm going. You got your tax?
What?
Everyone got their tax? Support the girls?
I'm
Spoiler girls?
actually going to a dinner
When is it?
Oh my
No,
God.
for
I'm
the Rugby World Cup, Women's Rugby.
I think I'm going to
for rugby.
gloriously be in
Tomorrow.
Australia at that time, Soz. But send me your selfies,
When is it? Oh,
October 8th.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be in Australia too.
Soz.
Yeah.
We're doing a real pod trip without you, Alex.
I'll be there. Hashtag feminist.
Okay, reality check.
I have 4 weeks to decide if I'm going to drop my entire football outfit.
I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband.
It's fine. I don't even know you.
Reality check.
The Masked Singer. Okay, Kings was the guest on the guessing panel this week. Otherwise known as Monster from last year.
That's right.
So there was.
I only recognise him as Monster.
I know.
I don't recognise
as soon as he put on the
things.
mask, I was like, oh, there you are. But it was interesting to get the scale of just that monster head without the body. It just
Enormous.
Enormous.
Really crazy.
Shit big head.
Where are they storing these things? You know, because they've got to have those dehumidifier. You know those hippo. Damp for your closet? Damp hippo. What are they called?
I don't know.
Ethan knows.
Ethan really doesn't.
Hippo dehumidifiers.
No, this is
Never
made
heard
up.
of it.
Very catchy.
Hey,
The people know. The people out there who struggle with dampness know.
with Kings, if he were to have a barn full of plants,
Yes.
could he call it King's Plant Barn and that's legal because it's literally what it is? Or is it copyright?
I think if anyone in this room who would know about whether or not that's legal, you're the one. So you need to answer that question.
I think it's not legal. But
Yeah,
I think you have to ring
tend to
Nikki.
think. I tend to think it's not legal as well.
I just
I think it's a
feel-
really cool idea.
Yeah.
I think also, are you even allowed to be called king in this climate?
Or he could open a preparatory school.
Called King.
King,
Why would you want
I
to?
just feel like now that he's got that name, he can really start a conglomerate
I think Alex makes a fair
and do a
point.
lot of passing off.
I don't think his name on his birth certificate is King's. Not allowed. Only person
allowed.
who's allowed that is old mate who's
Especially
just
not
taken
now.
over. No, yeah.
I like how we haven't talked about the Queen dying.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean?
Shit. I wonder what the penetration of that news is. It'd be bloody high, eh?
You know how you do the where were you when, like Princess Diana, I remember exactly where I was. I can picture the
Same.
whole thing.
Should
And
we do our stories?
I was working at Levine's.
I was working at the Warehouse Newmarket.
Oh, I was in Newmarket as well.
That's crazy. We were just down opposite ends of Broadway.
And I didn't even know you yet.
No.
I was
She was
too
a punk. I
young.
did ballet.
And I was 6.
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
At least you're alive.
But the Queen, I think I was just in bed of a morning. I can't
Yeah,
quite.
it was
I already
bad timing.
can't remember.
It was like 9/11, you know. They just didn't schedule it for
No, 9/11
for our
I
audience.
remember really clearly.
Yeah, I know, but it happened while...
No, but I remember I was up. It was
Yeah.
late at night and I was up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like 1 in the
That's
morning.
not like you. Well, it is like you.
It's like the old me.
Yeah.
No, I'm a
And
night.
you now,
yeah, it's
yeah.
true. A night owl.
Because, well, hey, I gave you some advice about your phone. Have you taken it?
What advice did you give me?
Can't have your phone in your room at night.
You didn't give me that advice. You did not.
But how do you wake up? How do you wake up?
Well, like you get an alarm clock, good old-fashioned digital or analog alarm clock.
How do you play League of Legends
But
till
then
1
the
in the
batteries
morning?
will die.
No, it's not batteries. It's a
Oh,
plug into the
So
phone.
I need to buy a plug-in
I've used
alarm
the same
clock.
alarm clock since I was 11 years old. It's still rocking.
Here's extreme boomer energy,
I
Duncan.
know. I'm getting older at like 3 or 4 times the rate of my natural age at the moment, and I love it.
I just want to say, re the Queen. Sir the Mad Butcher is flying the Warriors flag at half-mast outside his house in Waikiki. And I just think we should all just remember, you know.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of half-masties around people's
McDonald's?
houses. Yeah.
McDonald's is at half-mast.
Do you think he had a half breakfast as well? Because they are quite large. Like,
True. Just half a bowl of cornies, half a sausage, half a hashy.
Yum. I haven't eaten yet. So the Masked Singer, anyway. Oh, wouldn't it be great if Mad Butchie turned up on the Masked Singer?
Wow, yes.
Fuck, that would be
Just
so
think about that.
good.
Celebrity Treasure Island.
Yes,
Where-
anything really.
Is it?
He's old.
You think he might not make it? We might have to half-master.
He could do Masked Singer, I reckon. Imagine,
Yeah.
it's probably his beautiful gravelly voice.
Yeah, it'd be lovely. It'd be a
No.
nice time. You saw Paul Ego the other week. He just stood there. Butchie can do that. Backup dancers can hold him up if necessary. Anyway,
Weekend at
Gladiator,
Butchie's.
Alligator. The main clue I picked up this week was Wallace and Gromit and The Simpsons, otherwise known as Sam Wallace, and Erin Simpson from Sticky TV.
Genius,
Yeah,
Jane.
genius.
That threw me for a 6.
Janius.
Yeah,
Have we done that before?
As long as you don't say Janus, then I'm fine. So yes, it's Drew Nemia. There's no shadow of a doubt in my mind. Bedazzled Unicorn. I know who this is. 100%.
Do you?
It's my call from last week.
Oh, who's that?
It's Holly Smith.
Yeah, it's definitely Holly Smith.
That's why Anika knows.
Yeah.
Kings is certain as well, but also don't want to spoil it for everyone.
She just
voice
also
etched.
sounds exactly like Holly Smith.
I don't think she did at first, but she's coming more into just like she's giving up on trying to trick everyone. She's just singing like Holly Smith.
Do you remember from when we
Wouldn't it be great? She should do "Bathe in the Mirror" as one of her songs. That'd
In
be
the
great.
what?
That will be.
Bathe in the mirror in the river.
Bathe in the where?
Do not bathe in the mirror. Bathe in the river.
You can.
What? You can bathe in the mirror?
Well, looking
If
in
you've
the
got a mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to set up mirrors in the bath so I could watch TV.
Wow.
I'd lie in the bath and set up a hall of mirrors all the way to the telly.
Is this
You've really
pre-laptop?
done this.
Yeah, I've done
right
that.
about this.
Pre-laptop.
How have you still got things in your life that you haven't written about for
Well,
the
what am I
spin-off?
going to write about that?
That,
I
just
don't
that sentence.
Like a hall of mirrors, like multiple mirrors.
Like 2.
That's mad.
There should be a whole series that's just Alex Casey, I did this.
Yeah.
And some of them will just be one line wrong.
Could be a little book.
Okay, anyway.
I think it's kind of weird. I didn't realise that they have like present day working successful singers on these shows. Internationally, I feel like there's always got to be some kind of has-beenism
How
to
present
being on
day
it.
is Holly? Is
Well, she just put an album out
Did she?
last year, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of
This is
interesting.
just promo then, I guess.
Yeah.
Freaking Kings. It's not Kings. Try Kingy.
Yeah, true.
Super, like,
I just,
Apex
it's not
powers.
really what they do. It's not really what they do. in
but-
Yeah, but we're limited
Us-
pool,
us-
Alex.
Did you know who got unmasked in The
New
Masked
Zealand.
Singer Australia? Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child. That's the caliber of talent they've got in the Australian one.
We
It's
need a ring in
craze.
next year. We need a ring in.
Yeah.
Hey, tell you what, get Natalia Kills in. That would slay.
I just don't
be
think she would
amazing.
ever come back
Oh,
to
do you
this
think?
shithole country.
Ruru Chick got unmasked. Laura Daniel, we knew it. James Rickey definitely knew it.
I actually loved his like drawing
Yeah.
kind of.
And he'd even thought about it because when he flipped it,
Organogram.
like he'd written it upside down so that he could do a dramatic flip with the text messages. And then he even had the text message of the $500 that she promised him if she got unmasked, that he was waving around at the end. So he really did his homework. Probably did that at home.
It's nice to see celebrities doing things for money for themselves as opposed to for charity. I prefer that.
I don't like Daddy Detective though. I don't know. That just gives me the
No.
ick. I'm not keen.
They're all daddy detectives. You know, what makes them so special? The magnifying glass.
Yes. Yeah. And who even called him that? Is self-appointed
I think it was
Monica?
self-appointed,
Self-appointed.
which is always a
Worse.
problem.
Worse.
Oh, it's fine. I like the really intense energy he's bringing to judging. Like he seems incredibly committed to that. Like he's forgotten that it's a show. Forgotten he's supposed to be funny. It's just like I will solve these mysteries.
It's great mysteries. I'm really into this year's judging panel,
Yeah.
guessing panel. I think that they're great. I love Anika. Sharon's always a great host, and James is just unhinged at the moment, but
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Imagine David Lomas in the front seat. I'm just saying. The man knows everything. He's got all the information, as we've established.
Then the show would, like, episode 1, we'd be like, oh, well, no point watching the rest. David Lomas.
Maybe you
Or
could merge the two
Calvin
concepts.
Cruikshank as well. Just
True.
You know what? I'll talk to you off here. I've got an idea for an article for next season. Okay?
Love that.
All right. Magic Monster. Rhythm runs deep in the fan. Brothers and sisters have wands of silver and iron. May have seen me flying. What goes up must come down. Yada, yada, yada. Infamous stumbles. Cursed by black magic time after time. Is that a sailing reference?
Black magic.
Wasn't that what we called our boat once upon a time?
Black Magic.
Yeah, America's Cup.
Oh, yeah.
But despite all that, I think it's Dion Nash like everyone else does. Because of the camel toes, his
I've got
band.
no idea. The camel
I even listened to an interview of him talking to see if like that talking voice could possibly be that singing voice. I reckon it could.
No, you do. You're James Rickey. It's full on.
Mummy detective.
Mummy. I feel like I'm now like you were last season, where I'm like, all I see is a monster. Like I just see Magic Monster.
Thank you.
I don't see anyone.
Well, join me. I'm just completely useless at talking about the show Island.
I loved the little family funny of Kings chucking on the monster mask and like trying to speak to him in monster.
Yeah.
It was
Oh
cute.
yeah, that's right.
Sweetie.
Blue Penguin, no clue. I've got Tina Cross, but no clue. No idea.
I hope and pray that it is Tina Cross. Because God only knows what I will do when she is unmasked.
You will vomit and faint. We know this.
Beautiful singer.
Beautiful. Any
Amazing.
ideas?
Nothing. I've nothing. No idea.
Seems like an extremely seasoned pro performer, singer type. But we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Best is yet to come. Oh, I've got no idea.
Who is it? Something about rhythm and vibe?
I feel like at this point last time we knew basically everybody.
You did.
We didn't know Pav.
Yeah, that was your claim to fame.
We did not know Pav. Anyway, that's Masked Singer, still going, enjoying every moment of that svelte 1 hour a week show. Love it. Shall we have a break before CTI?
No.
Okay, CTI, week 2. Wow. Okay. What a week on the island.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is becoming. I have lost all concept of what I have and haven't said on this podcast, so forgive me if I've already said it. But there's this idea of the canonical show that every country has. This is definitely New Zealand's reality show.
It is. True.
Like where Australia has maths and the UK has Love Island, we are made to make Celebrity Treasure Island.
It is so good, and it's getting better with every season.
They're doing the games in like 3 minutes. They're going to sort of slowly stop doing the games. It won't be for charity anymore.
Yeah.
It'll just be celebrities figuring it out, and not very well.
No.
And I'll just find it so compelling.
I got so confused this week with the Alliance chat. I just absolutely...
What did Cassie do?
Oh, Cassie.
Cassie!
Cassie.
Oh. Okay, look,
But to be fair, can you imagine what you would do in a one-on-one with Mike King?
Run away screaming.
I would give him anything, I think. He's manipulative.
he is.
To the nth degree.
He's terrifying.
He's terrifying.
How is Alex King okay?
I don't think she is. I think that she's been rocked by this experience, and I'm very interested to see the fallout of the end
I don't know
of
how
this
we
week.
start to talk about it.
Okay, look, let's just go chronologically with what happened. We had a charity challenge. I know you hate them, Duncan. This was
I've started to skip them again.
Okay.
Oh, is this the Jinx one?
Yes.
I love this
I was
challenge.
playing it from home. I was playing at home going, I'm terrible at this. I keep losing. Did you get any?
No. I thought it was real funny, the one where they'll like say a condiment and they both went, salt.
I don't think of salt. I think of it as seasoning.
Of course it's seasoning.
But if you're both,
that's not a condiment.
But if you're both idiots, then that's fine, right?
And they get a high five and they move on.
Move on. Jessie Chook won this one for the Special Olympics. New Zealand is his charity. Cassie doesn't eat peanut butter or toast, apparently, maybe.
That's shocking.
She said she doesn't eat peanut butter, and they're like, what do you have on your toast? And I was like, she's like, don't eat it. And that is real news right there.
That is real news. Is it a
Maybe
problem?
that's why she told Mike King about the alliance.
Maybe.
Just not enough protein.
Quite funny, Cam and Joel trying to find something to bond over and just not being too funny bit.
Joel saying, would you ever consider living on another planet? It's amazing small talk.
Like it's an option.
Yeah. I mean, it might be.
It might be, would you?
One day.
I don't think I would.
No.
This seems like such a big move.
I can't
We've
bother.
absolutely botched this planet. It's not fair for us to go and start botching
true.
another one.
Alex is feeling quite overwhelmed in episode 1. She confides in Karen. But she thinks that Karen's like here till she's not. Like Karen's just having a good time. She's prepared to go home whenever. But Alex is here to win for her charity. She doesn't want to let her dad down. That's her big driving force here.
But it's like, when you first see that scene, you're like, oh, that's because she really likes her dad and her dad's charity. By then you're like, are you just terrified of this seeming maniac?
I love that Lynette's only green piece of apparel is a sparkly skinny green scarf.
Oh, I love that sequin scarf. We should try and get that for the museum. It's wonderful.
I feel like it's
so thin.
I feel like it's like an integral part of her wardrobe. I'm not sure that she'd be willing
I'd
to
be
give it
worried
up.
about magpies.
Oh, because they like shiny things.
Wouldn't you?
I feel like that's not related to the scarf, though. I think it's just like a generalised worry of yours. In the same way that Jane is rightly worried about fleas.
Well, in the way that, I'm jumping ahead, but the possum's being attracted to the breast milk. The wildlife,
that is something.
the wildlife out there is crazy.
Everything is bizarre and strange, and I love it.
Don't you feel like they're like a wallaby infestation away from losing the battle against nature on this season?
Alex is obviously having a hard time. TK is having a hard time being away from his heavily pregnant wife, due to give birth any time now. Dylan struggling not to get on the spring free.
How was this not in the teaser trailer? That is such a funny moment.
I mean, it makes sense when you think about the fact this is what he does all day, every day, and it's his passion.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just needs a good jump on a tramp, mate.
Dylan. We should try and go to, what's that place called?
Jump. Or Uptown Bounce.
Uptown Bounce. Can you imagine going to Uptown Bounce with Dylan
He would
Schmidt?
smoke us. He'd do that thing where he just bounces from tramp to tramp, the whole length of it, and doing
I just
flips
worry
in
that
between.
he'd be too bouncy for the setup. He'd hit the ceiling or go through a wall or something.
I don't want to be responsible for injuring
No.
Dylan Schmitty. Team face-off is for some yum nachos.
Yum!
Alex got a
Yum.
taste of them, and she picked up. I've never seen someone shove such a big loaded nacho in their mouth. So
It
this
looks
might be the
so
only taste I
good.
get.
Oh, look, I feel like the food is better this season.
Yeah.
Like, just yummier prizes.
Just jumping ahead, but how did they get the McDonald's there, and what kind of temp was it?
Uber Eats.
Yeah, but are they really on an
They're
island?
really, it's not an island, but it's very remote.
So where's it coming
Like-
from? Kaikohe? Like, I need to know a lot about the transport.
It definitely would have been like over half an hour away.
So it's cold.
Well, that's like any Uber Eats delivery of McDonald's. I'm speaking from
Pop it on the seat warmers.
a lot of
course.
experience.
Oh, yeah.
I think at that point you're probably not very fussy.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I've got a cheeseburger in my fridge at the moment, actually.
Oh, you didn't make a podcast about it?
Yeah.
Do you actually?
I do, yeah.
That's
do.
crazy. How?
Because I had my children last night, so they had McDonald's for dinner.
Yeah, but how did you not eat it? Because you can always eat, like,
Because
statistically,
I
you can
knew
always eat
if
one more.
I knew if I didn't have McDonald's for dinner. Actually, I was very, very controlled.
What
but
did you have?
I had peanut butter on toast.
Whoa! Cassie would never.
Only because, don't think that I'm some saint. It's only because I had a big bowl of fries just before I went to pick up the kids, and then went home and got them dinner.
Bowl
And I
of
wasn't
fries.
hungry.
I would love to read a food blog.
It would be very boring, and it would all be yellow.
Was it oven fries?
No, over at the beer spot with Emily Wright.
Yum.
Yeah, it was super yum. And she
What-
was like,
what's
I'll
the-
share
what's
them with
the
you, and then
track
she
this
didn't eat a
week?
single one. So I had to eat the whole lot myself.
No, she got you.
She really did. She's like Mike King. Okay. We? Team face-off, nachos.
Oh, confusing challenge. The rings and the puzzles and the light and the dark.
Yeah.
I can't
Columns.
remember.
It was a
Oh.
nightmare.
Chisholm got like properly angry at how stupid they were. Though.
I don't think that it was that hard.
I thought it was
I
really
don't think they had to
hard.
knock over the coconuts. I felt like there was the
That's right.
apparatus.
Yeah, broken apparatus.
Helena's
Pauline,
team.
they
yeah.
struggled so much to get that last coconut, and I can't remember who it was, but from Mungo, who went first, just kind of
Was
basically
it Joel?
grazed.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
the whole
like
fell out.
all of the coconuts fell out.
The craftspersonship.
Well,
no good.
You know, that's what happens when you're on a deserted island. I guess they have to work with what they've got. So Mungo actually won this one. And Susan makes a gag about Melody acting like a leader and not being, but they're not the only team like that. And who was she referring
Gave
to?
her the stick, right?
Yeah, but then she was trying to sort of stir up other teams as well.
She's
The
constantly
psychodrama
stirring.
on this season is unbelievable. Oh, dog.
And we've talked about him heaps, but this is actually the point at which Mike King comes into the game. And Alex's face is just, fuck.
Well, it's sort of fuck, but it's also like, I feel like she does quite like, I mean, she says, my dad is my best friend. I kind of believe her.
Oh, totally. But it doesn't mean you want them to be on the telly show with you, you know?
I think it'll be good. You'd be feeling so. It was day 4 already, right? And she's
Yeah.
already crying.
Yeah, but you
It'll be
really
lovely. It's like a
isolated.
home visit.
Best friend.
Okay, I mean,
friend.
you guys are my best friends, and I don't cry if I don't see you for 4 days. That's
You're
not
not.
true. I do.
That's,
I do.
yeah, it doesn't
4
seem like
hours.
something you wouldn't do.
I liked when Alex King said, "My timbers have been shivered."
Yes,
Yeah,
very
that's
good.
good.
She's got so much screen time. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
You know-
great.
She's going to go a long way.
You know who didn't get much screen time this week was Lynette, and that was very sad.
There
for
were a
me.
few people who didn't get a lot of screen time this week.
Well, to be fair, like Mike King just sort of yum ate the screen time home.
He basically said
We've got to get to the end.
his goal is to come here and cause chaos, which is exactly what he does. As we mentioned, shall I just jump forward? Is this what
Yeah.
you're saying? You're bored?
No, I'm not bored. I just like I'm ravenous to talk about it. Also, can we just have a quick general talk about Mike King, who is, and I don't want to be rude about this, but he's known as a mental health advocate, has a charity to that effect. It also seems like he's incredibly destructive presence, like does a lot of very dangerous things to people around him, and that would totally plausibly impact their mental health. It's a trippy situation, is what I'm saying.
It is. I find it quite strange. He's very, because he's so openly, he's not even really talking about playing the game. He's just like, I want to fuck with people's minds.
Yeah.
I want to annihilate. I want to annihilate this whole team.
He's like trying to break them down so that he can rebuild them in his image. Like it's really, it's what for like, if this was a fictional drama, you know, it would be one. It's one of the strangest performances by a prominent person on any format I've ever seen.
Particularly when he arrives early on saying, I'm just here for Alex. I'm here to support my girl. But then just arrives like guns blazing.
But I mean,
there's just so many funny
ultimately, the
things.
other thing, like when he said, you know, Melody was charged with making sure that that Paulina was put up to go in the elimination challenge, and
She had no control over it.
she didn't really have any control over it. And then she tried.
But then he's like, this is a person who they're obviously close enough that he was celebrating at her wedding, but he seemed genuinely to be like shredding her. And you could see she's doing that smile where it's like, we're all on TV here. I can't do anything about this, but man, are you going to hear some things from me later?
Yeah.
Like, it was so intense.
This whole alliance thing was so confusing to
Are
me.
you talking about Mike King and the woman?
Yeah, Mike King and the woman. But
Mike King's Angels.
even before that, when Elvis and Melody turned up with food and asking Alex to throw the captain's challenge, and normally I can follow pretty well the reasoning behind some of this stuff, but my brain was asunder. It was all akimbo. I didn't know what was going on. There was this woman's alliance.
The hateful eight.
Like, it's not the number one thing about an alliance, Cassie Roma, bless you, to keep it a bit secret.
It was because, like, I recognise that Mike King has special powers. But she just didn't even bother to try and feel them. It was just like immediately, hey, the thing about me you need to know is I've got an alliance, it's all the woman.
Not only that, but he immediately goes, okay, thank you for that. I'm going to go and tell everyone. And she's like,
He's like,
yep, and I
cool.
am too.
Yeah. Job done.
And then not only that, but there's not all the women are in the women's alliance. So it's
Can we call Cassie now and just get a
Mike
breakdown?
King and selective women. And then they're just talking about it all openly. And all the women like Paulina, Lynette, Susan, who are
Courtney
not
is furious.
who are not in the alliance, are just sitting there going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mike King is.
Mike King's there.
Honorary woman. I don't want to stir the pot divorce style, but I did get little sexist vibes from Mike King quite early on particularly about Courtney. He kept going on about how she blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Courtney is one of the smartest, savviest, most driven, like, best endurance. Like, she is an absolute player. And he just stereotyped her based on, I don't know, like a 30-second interaction, and was just very confidently saying that is who she is as a person.
Not only that, but
Yuck.
she was welcoming him in and trying to update him on everything that had happened so far with excitement.
Yeah. And he was
Like, him there.
too much talk.
Horrible. Anyway, not him in this situation. Thanks very much. Captain's test was a bunch of symbols and they had to lie. I thought this test was a bit boring, to be honest. Mike King won it, and he won a parchment that enables him to talk with one of two. You know, he can select a couple of people from other teams to have a chat with. And episode 2, we start with a very windy shit night for all.
So windy. It just looks like the worst place in the whole world.
Actually, it's very windy and cold looking and dark and gloomy.
Susie said, my eyes feel like piss holes in the snow.
Wow, Susie.
We love that.
We do love
That's how
that.
I feel.
It's an iconic turn of phrase.
And this is where we got the positive and the breast milk.
We did. So Siobhan said, because she's away from her baby, she's got an 8-month-old and a 3-year-old, and this is like the first time she's been away from them. And that is hard. That's hard.
Yeah, that's hard.
And she's fucking pumping milk, which, by the way, just what a thing to have to go off and do while you're on the island.
In the wind.
In the wind, you know?
Question.
Yes, Alex.
Could you share with the team?
The milk? Oh.
Is
Are
it
you
not
suggesting-
sustenance?
I mean,
You'd have to be, I mean,
You
it's
could make a rice pudding.
I definitely
Yeah.
think week 5, you probably get to that point where you're like, you know what? I'll give it a go.
Well, who gives it a go? Because I feel like the team, we up for it from the jump, because it's just anything that's not rice and beans. But it's about when mum is comfortable pumping but not dumping.
Oh, I mean, definitely you'd have to seek permission. They definitely get offered. I'm not suggesting that you sneak it in the night.
But so who's holding back? Why does it take to week 5?
Because I think that a lot of people would actually not go for it straight away. I think some people would find it a bit weird.
No,
and
it's fine. What do
You
you
said
think?
from the jump.
you
I
see from
think
the
from the
jump,
jump.
like get off
I don't
the
think
plane.
from the jump, but I think once you get to a few weeks in, and you're like,
and you're more comfortable around each other and all that kind of thing.
you've shared.
Would you just have a cup of just on an ordinary day?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
okay.
I
That
try
stuff's
and not
like
be
gold, though.
squeamish.
You'd
Yeah,
have
that's
to-
the
you'd
thing.
have
I
to
was
pay-
like,
you'd have to
big
pay for
bucks,
it.
Big
Yeah.
bucks.
Okay, anyway, so we're starting to get these emotional stories, which is nice. Charity challenges the swinging water balloons. Just stay low.
I don't like it.
Bit boring.
Boring.
Skip
exactly.
that.
You can. The
Skip
shorties.
that.
The shorties.
Yeah.
Did well.
Alex won in the end. I don't think she's a shorty. She looks quite tall, actually. And O'Leary is on the case. She doesn't believe everything Alex had to say about that weird little interaction with Melody and Elvis.
She really plays the detective very, very well.
And she's like, I'm going to get to the bottom. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to get to the bottom of it. She says that about 5 times. I don't think she's going to get to the bottom of it. I think we're all going to have moved on to many other weird
she
and
did-
wonderful interactions between now and when she actually gets to the bottom of it.
She didn't know what. None of us knew what
No,
was
we didn't.
coming.
I'm not even sure
There will
Alex-
be a before and after, and that's human history cleaved by that moment.
I did like how Karen was like drawing upon her early childhood teaching to be like, kids always change stories when
Yeah.
they're lying.
Yeah.
And she's changing her stories.
And she was.
She
She was.
And she was like, it was just good.
I just like
detective.
shout out as well. Karen O'Leary chose the movie Clue as the movie she would take
Right.
to a desert island. 1985 comedy about people trying to figure
Yeah.
out who done a murder.
Right.
She's onto it.
Put
She's switched
her on the Masked Singer, I say.
That would
She'd
be
have that all
amazing.
sorted out.
I just think you're just assuming that everyone can sing.
But you don't need to be able to sing to be on the Masked
Auto-tune.
Singer.
Is it?
Did you not? Guy Williams, did you not hear?
I
Anyway,
did.
we'll move on. Mike tells Cassie, this is when they're revealing about the Women's Alliance that Mike decides he's going to spearhead, that everyone apart from her is dead weight.
That's horrible.
Isn't that awful? He's only been on the island for about 6 minutes.
And then Cassie, in return, tells them about the alliance,
Courtney's really pissed, and rightly so.
which is quite deadweight behaviour, to be honest.
That's true.
Maybe it's just Mike King on the team.
But Courtney is really pissed because the alliance started out as just her, Cassie, and they wanted to get Melody, right?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was like, oh, but so-and-so's in an alliance with Chappelle, so he needs to come across to the Women's Alliance as well. The whole thing was
It's
just a complete
I
mess.
would really like someone to draw a diagram of the alliance.
But why would you ever want Mike King anywhere near your alliance?
Do you think they're
So stressful.
behaving like the alliance, the party? That
It's got that energy.
really has a
That's
like last
throwback.
days of the alliance kind of
Don't
vibe.
forget, though, he is really early to the island here. And a lot of people are thinking him and Alex are obviously going to be in a natural alliance. So they may have just seen it as, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Is that the saying? Something like that. I don't know. I honestly don't know what happened. Cam, in the meantime, feeling very upset that he is not being picked for the Women's Alliance just because he has a penis.
That's right. Unfair.
Unfair.
Poor Cam. Cam's like, I don't think there's anything going on.
Oh,
He's like, I think we're all just having a really nice time.
But that was Edna last season. It wasn't that she thought everyone was having a really nice time, but she thought she was in every alliance going and she was in none of them. And she got top 3. So,
Yeah, that's true.
Team face-off, breads and dips and spreads and yum. They had to untangle some shit and get a key and fill up a bucket with water holes. This was horrible, this challenge.
was that the one that Siobhan was really good at? The untangling the ropes, or is that something
Oh,
else?
no, this is the one. No, that one's fine. Sorry. The one... the horrible one where they had to hold the buckets for an hour while they're running up and down the beach, filling it up and the buckets emptying and they're putting sandbags in. That was horrible.
That was the one where Mike was sledging everyone,
Yes.
but also Matt Chisholm.
Yes.
Oh, that was wild. Like, I think Matt hates Mike King. Like, he seemed, multiple times Matt seemed irked as hell. I would not be surprised at all if Matt is like, I am done with this shit and I do not want to go back.
Off the back of the really rocking news about the Women's Alliance, of course, Melody's going back, trying to protect Eds because Eds is the only one who's looking out for Alex. I mean, there's literally just pawns in Mike King's chess game at this point. So Jess Paulina goes up and Susie D straight away is like, well, that doesn't really fit in with your Women's Alliance, does it?
Yeah.
It's like immediate hole in your story.
The casting of this
Amazing.
season. Like, they Is there a category in the TV Awards? Is there a category in the Queen's?
Honours?
King, is it King's bit? That's going to be crazy. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, King's Honours, whatever it is, for whoever cast this.
Yes.
We bloody better be.
Yes.
We should do our own awards.
Yeah.
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 We have, I mean, yes.
Copyright the spin-off.
Copyright.
No one else does awards.
No one's ever done one before. Mike King, I think, because he was on board with protecting Ed's for a while at least.
Oh no, he was all on board
Yeah.
with it because Ed's was kind of like looking after his girl and
That's right. But what I loved about it is he kept being like, he just kept calling him Ed. Like just single Ed. He's like, we need to protect Ed at all costs. You literally don't even know what his name is.
Yeah, you love him so much. Wow.
The elimination challenge was Dylan versus Ed's, and this was a dexterity challenge. The golf balls up into the little cradles, and then the kind of rampy bar things that he had to pull open at the exact right moment to drop the balls into jars. Great challenge.
There was.
Yeah.
As a leveler kind of a challenge, like anyone could have won this, anyone could have been good at it.
It was quite different from last week's one where it was actually like an even challenge and one person didn't automatically lose by getting faulty equipment.
Yeah. So anyway, this is one I'd like to have a go at when the fun park opens up.
Yeah.
But you could do it, just get some chicken wire.
I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to do this at home.
Pop into Bunnings with a golf ball.
No, I want to go.
You pop into Bunnings with a golf ball.
I know. I want to pay $15 and go to the fun park that Duncan's setting up. Thanks very much. Anyway, it goes. That's it.
It's tragedy.
It's too bad.
Tragedy. It really made me very sad. I liked Eds a lot as a person.
Yeah, Mike was cool, totally chill with it. He was totally, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so totally fine with it.
A very emotional haka.
Yeah.
From TK as well, to farewell Eds. Gone too soon, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely everyone so far gone too soon.
Yeah.
True.
But then who would you have go sooner? I think no one's allowed to leave.
No one's allowed to leave
Yeah.
for the first, three weeks on air.
I think it's a
Or
new
at all.
life.
Exile Island.
Yeah, Exile Island. And no, I'll workshop that.
Okay. The beginning of episode 3, we see Cribby in his...
Episode 6.
Sorry, episode 3 for the week. But yes, episode 6. We see Cribby in...
Fact check.
we see him in his either underwear or Speedos, doing some yoga and...
Cribby?
press-ups. Yeah.
No, those are Speedos. But Mike King seemed to wear his undies into the drink.
Yeah, someone said that's what they saw first thing in the morning was Mike King in his undies going for a wee swim. Dylan chooses clue. I can't remember what it was. I feel like the clues don't matter at all until the very end anyway. And then we have the charity challenge of musical chairs, in which Lynette Forday once again adopts her spirit arms.
So good.
So good. What are you doing? Why do you
I'm
keep
just
moving
terrified.
there?
You
Worried
keep
about
getting
the
real
arepa.
close to the arepa. When that thing goes on this lovely white carpet, it's all over.
You actually so he's moving my bottle of arepa and he's moving it closer and closer to the edge of the desk.
It's just,
I thought it was you trying to drink some.
No, but wasn't it scaring you?
Not really. I feel like Jane's in total control.
I'm total control.
But these
I have
these quite
trust.
voluminous arms.
I bet they're not heavy enough to pull over that.
If anything, the fleas would be jumping in there.
We really keep our distance.
Alex did as soon as I said it.
I shouldn't have
moved
got
back.
that close.
Okay. So musical chairs. Mel wins it. Her charity is the Rugby Foundation. And then what have we got? We've got a face-off where the prize is McDonald's. Yum. Cold McDonald's for certain, but still delicious, I'm sure. Kuaka get to borrow a member from another team because they're short on numbers. And they pick...
TK.
They pick TK. And presumably less about thinking he will really help them, but just trying to take some of the brute strength off of another team.
Yeah, and he's also he seems like an honest trader.
That's
Like
the
he would give his all
Give
to.
it a red hot go. And honestly, this went on after, I can't remember who it was like, we've been doing this for like 10 minutes. And then suddenly it's like an hour.
Over an hour.
No, that's too long.
I felt bad for Alex King because she had her arms bent, whereas I feel like it was you should have, because then you were just unnecessarily taxing these muscles. I was like, if you just have the arms straight, because a lot of the other people were straight arms and they didn't seem to be suffering so much. So I wonder if it was a technique issue.
What if you tied it around
That's what I was
your body
thinking.
Yeah.
and just like
Sat down.
That's actually a great.
And then it's just body
it's a
weight
grand
thing.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. next time.
Redo. Redemption.
Redemption week.
Well, and especially in light of the revelation that there are no rules.
Yeah,
You know,
apparently.
the post-Lynette 4-day kind of...
Who won that? Oh, it was Mike King's team.
I don't even really know how it finished,
It was
to be honest.
Mongo won.
Okay.
It won by Chizzo going, yeah, actually, you were right about the water sloshing out of Kauri's bucket.
Yeah.
We're just calling it now.
Because it was just
That's
like, he was
right.
just like, I need to get my tea. Like,
Yeah. But fair enough. It's been going for bloody ages.
And Mike King has been sledging him constantly.
Constantly. Kauri's trust in Melody is waning. So everyone has...
Correctly.
Correctly. For this whole time, she's been the wahine toa who is going to probably take this whole thing out, but her undoing might be that she's just not playing the game
She's
quite
not a
smartly
great
enough.
liar.
Yeah.
Too hot too soon as well. I think making moves too early
Yeah.
is always a problem.
And Jesse is just confused about the elimination chat. He's like, this is the most confusing thing I've ever heard.
It was incredibly confusing.
This is when Mike comes in and asks everyone their opinion, and everyone... He tries to convince them, then he walks away and is like, I don't want to bully you into anything. I don't want you to feel like you're being bullied. So he railroads them. He says,
It's a lot of bullying chat for someone in his position.
He goes away, comes back, they say who they want to put up, and he then railroads them into changing their mind.
Oh, let's just get to the final scene.
Okay. John,
Hold on. I've got one important thing to say before we get to the final, and it's about you. And I want to say that you did a great job. Mike King called himself a lone wolf on the island. You, not knowing who had chosen that weird song by Alan Gibson, or whatever his name was, said whoever chose this is a lone wolf on the island.
Wow.
And it was Mike King!
I did a great thing right.
In your song analysis.
do you know who I know who's a lone wolf?
I like profiling people through song.
Do you know who I know who's a lone wolf who'd be great on the island? Bernard Hickey.
Oh my god.
Bernard Hickey on Celebrity Treasure Island. Like, if this gets to season 18, that's actually not completely implausible.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
imagine.
I can imagine it.
They should do one which is just all economists.
Oh, wow.
You've
Oh, my
got Adrian
God.
Orr and Jared Kerr. I mean,
Who's
it's
that
gonna be like a
cool?
lot
Who's
of
that
lads.
babyface guy?
Oh, Brad Olsen.
Yeah.
Shit, that would be good.
Yeah, there's a real team there. The Economists. Like at least a team, if not a whole
Could you
cast.
get different kinds of
It's Economist
commentators?
Treasure Island. Yeah.
Or do you think it's pure economists, not like other commentators?
I think economists would be funny because they'll always be trying to do sort of
Analysis.
analysis,
There would be
cost benefit analysis,
Yeah.
sunk cost analysis. Like, it would just get very weird. It'd be
Return
super
on
funny.
investment, all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would it be funny or would it be boring?
I mean, I'd love it.
It would be funny and boring, I think, which is kind of a weird mix, but maybe it's something that more TV shows need to try. Okay, the elimination challenge is Chappelle and Joel. Well, is it though? It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's no one.
It's no one because Mike, Chappelle and Joel is what the team decided, and then Mike was like, we didn't really know what was going to happen when Mike got into the ring.
And it's so Mike to be like, oh, I have a long speech
Yeah.
prepared for the situation. But then,
First thing he does is calls Mel out. He's like, I'm not gonna. What did he say? Something like, I'm not gonna get into it now, but you're all gonna have to go home and have a hard think or something. Well, I'm not putting you up, but you're going to have to go home and have a hard think about this.
and Mel's face is just absolute. Like that is the most rictus grin.
Yeah. It was wild.
Even so, the whole thing, even up to that point, was like, this has gone badly awry. This is a very, very strange situation that's going on. Like, especially because they clearly are friends, and this was not for show. This was a really corrosive thing that he was doing. And he was making wild assumptions about the extent to which she had any control at all about whether Paulina or Eds went up, which I don't know how you could not understand how, as not the captain. But
Yeah. Also, have a conversation with her and see what happened, and give her a chance to explain. But he just really, he was very cross.
Did you notice that his eye was exploding?
No.
His left eye increasingly over that last episode was getting more and more like when you have a bloodshot lesion. I get it when I stare at my computer for too long. But I think that was a physical embodiment of the chaos erupting out of him.
He came in with such, just to zoom out for a second, like that, I'm the celebrity. I think the fact that he was sort of caged for a couple of days before being released into the wild, like I've never seen someone come in with such a, everyone else seems to go in with this, actually not everyone, Susan, but like they seem to go into it with this like, we're all sort of celebrities here. It's ultimately a bit of a laugh. You can get competitive at times, but he was just constantly 150% energy and he was completely emotionally unregulated. It was, wow.
My take on it is that he planned to go. He like basically from the moment he arrived, he planned not to stay any longer than he did. So he got out and he was like, they're like, who are you putting out? And he was like, I'm not putting up anyone because I'm going to go.
And then starts weeping?
Well, they showed next week. It was in the next week. So that's kind of the end of the show. And then in the teaser for next week, he's really weeping, like really heaving with weepage.
He's been there for
10 minutes.
a day. 2 days?
2 days.
One overnight stay.
Yeah. That's why I don't think he planned to stay. I think that's why he went 150 the whole time. Is he came in to fuck shit up and then go home.
Yeah.
And I think it might be to do with letting Alex just have her thing.
But also, what a trail of destruction to leave.
It's actually really good.
It's incredibly good, but
it's
also
amazing.
I wish he was there the whole time because it's electric television.
I do feel like, though, if he kept on like that, there could come a point where it is even uncomfortable for viewers in the same way that maths sometimes gets so toxic that it's impossible to kind of separate it as a TV show.
Yeah, that's true.
And, yeah, especially someone in his position, as we've kind of alluded to, well, outright said that, talking about the kind of behaviour that he's displaying, if he kept doing that, it just would get to the point that it was just not fun to watch.
It also kind of, I think it would profoundly impact his career, whereas this is a blip now.
Yeah.
If he did that for a long period of time, I think the corporate gigs dry up. You know what it made call to mind for me was, in that podcast Unreal that talked about Celebrity Big Brother, which I never watched, and obviously like UK Celebrity Big Brother was for a time the biggest show around. Because Celebrity Treasure Island has never really been in that realm where, it just sort of gets strange like that, and there's the sort of cabin feverish elements. I mean, he hadn't been there for long enough to get cabin fever, but it was something about watching an incredibly famous person who's kind of not been in that kind of public eye for a while. It's like New Zealand of the Year 10 minutes ago. It maybe is now. I don't know how any of that works. But and then he's just like unraveling in this quite intense way.
So fast and completely unprovoked as
Yeah.
well. That's the thing. It wasn't even like he had a rival or anything.
The thing to me is it doesn't
Yes.
feel like an unravel for him. To me, it feels like very deliberate, the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
that he said that he was going to bring this energy before he was even in the game.
True. It
So-
wasn't a response to circumstances.
No, it was, he propelled it the whole time. What's going to be interesting is what he says next week.
Correct.
Through the tears as to, I assume the tears are going to be about Alex in some way, how proud he is of her or something. But I'm secretly hoping he's just like breaking, just really upset because Mel betrayed him and, and it's just like can't be on this island any longer.
And his eye is exploding.
That's true.
But his eye might have been exploding from all the pressure of the tears that are apparently coming.
Do you think it's a problem that week 1 we lost the narrator, Guy Montgomery? Week 2 we've lost the mega villain.
Yeah, but like, look at
Nah.
the bench. It's so
I know.
deep.
It's no, I don't think it's a problem at all. 'cause
Like-
I
We've got
think-
Susie.
I
We've
think
got Susie, we've got Lynette, we've got Mel, who are just going to be a thing.
Yeah, Alex is a great commentator.
True.
Karen's a great commentator.
Karen's
Cam's a great commentator.
Cam's great too. Like, there's still plenty of meat there.
Sweet Cam.
Yeah, he's so sweet.
I want to see more of Cam, actually. to be
Hopefully
honest.
we will.
I think Champala's
Oh,
also
Chappelle's great too.
very
That's so funny.
Like when he was doing like the tribute to Eds with a
right.
big piece of wood. Very good.
Okay, well that's CTR. We're going to take a quick break and we shall return with the block week 9.
Talofa Lover. I'm Madeline Chapman, editor at The Spinoff. If you have the means, consider supporting our high-quality journalism by becoming a Spinoff member. Sign up now at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spinoff Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBet.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I kōrero with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spinoff Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab.
Okay, the block week 9. Oh, the most anticipated, excited week where they go back and do the rooms that we've already seen.
Yeah, well,
they repaint a wall, buy a new cushion.
It's hard to know what's more exciting. Is it go back and redo an old room, or is it toilet and hallway week?
Oh yeah, I know. When we got to the end, it got announced. Just separate these 2 weeks out, please.
Yeah.
The only thing is there going to be? Is there dinner wars? Is that just not even happening?
I think it's not happening.
Too much
Why would you
controversy.
They sunk all the cash
easy?
into the slam poetry night.
Deliver easy.
Because that's the only thing that could save Powder Room and Stairwell Week, is if we had some exciting multi-night challenge.
It's such a botched season. It should be the end of the franchise.
Okay, I want to say, to be fair to the poor block, that still holds a special place in my heart, it's really hard going up against CTI. And we haven't been watching, because we have had so much television to watch, the three of us, we've been skipping straight to the room reveals, which means we are missing some of those little gold nuggets of fun in between. And
but they do have a previously on the block, and that is almost unwatchable.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
It's just like a real lack of energy when you come off CTI where everyone's screaming and racing around and doing all this stuff, and then you just get to the block and it's just like someone rolling.
But we also, the block has this weird thing where it doesn't build up to, I mean, obviously it builds up to auctions, but in terms of the room reveals, all the good stuff's at the front. Like, with all the bathrooms and the kitchens and the stressful stuff's all at the beginning, and then we get to the odds and ends.
But it didn't used to be a problem. I think what's happened is these teams have got together before the cameras started rolling, and they've said, we're just going to be mates. We've done this before.
Yeah.
We know what it's like. We're just going to be mates. And to be fair to the block, which I don't like to be, but this week there was a little, finally at least some tension where, Ben and Chloe kind of, sort of ganked Ben and Quinn, and, one of the Ben's a bit annoyed, and but it's just like...
It doesn't last long, though, does it?
Really last.
It's not like
so
those season-long grudges that you get with the likes of Amy and Stu or the twins. Remember the twins?
Yeah.
How great were they? Going off to the park to get on the piss in the middle of the night?
No one has leapt the fence.
No one's leapt the fence.
No, and the thing is, when Ben and Chloe betrayed the sort of let's all be mates kind of détente, what did other Ben do? Just sat there and kind of gave like a steely grin. It's like, give us something.
It was cute, and he's like, how do you feel about that? And Ben was like, not good. And that was like the extent of the conflict.
That's the biggest moment of drama in block history for the season.
And then, of course, there was the dramatic giving zeros at room reveal, and then the big reveal was that, well, it wasn't really a big reveal, but I didn't realise that Adam and Stacey have given zeros at every single, not room reveal, sorry, at team judging. They've been doing it, they've done it for 3 team judgings. They've been giving zeros. And I've got no memory of this.
No.
No, you haven't seen it.
We watched it.
That's true. There was a team challenge where there was a crazy memory game that Chloe and Ben won. That looked like it would go on for a long time.
But I don't watch it.
Okay, yep, okay.
Oh, yeah, you watch it on double speed.
I watched it on double speed,
So what
fast
does it-
forwarding 10 seconds at a time a lot.
How does double speed sound? Like, just do a little impression?
Today on the block, we're going to be going over to the...
Wow, that loud lady.
I know.
I don't know.
The Queen, she lives.
Too soon. And there was a game changer that was to do with tying knots. Quite Treasure Island-esque challenges this week, actually. They had to tie knots and then untie knots. And Adam and Ribs one, because Ribs came in.
Yes, Ribs.
Yes, Ribs. He
With
came
his
in
weird
because
poncho.
Yeah, Stacey had to go and get her throat seen too. Turns out she caught a virus that had damaged her vocal cords, so she's getting some surgery. Of course, Lisa came in when Adam was away at the funeral, so Ribs came in while Stacey was away at the doctor's. And that was nice to see him again. Didn't really catch much of what he did because was fast forwarding a lot. But they won 2 envelopes.
This is great.
They won for the game changer. They won an envelope for themselves, and they had to choose a team to give the other envelope to, and they chose Marie and James because Marie offered to do cleaning for them. And one got a +1 and one got a -1. Adam's trying to sell off his eco decorator hours. And
did you see what happened with the psychic? Who went to a psychic? Was that them? Oh, no, sorry. That was Chloe and Ben.
It wasn't a psychic. It was meditation.
Oh.
Did you just fast forward? In the previously on.
Yeah, I saw it in the recap and I was like, that looks interesting.
No, it wasn't.
Watch.
No, opposite. They just went and did some meditation to centre themselves. Okay. Yeah, so much less exciting than a psychic. So with the scoring for the redos, basically the team that was going to win is the one that had made the greatest improvement on their score from the last one. So it was really always Chloe and Ben's to win, considering they got a 1 for their kitchen. And they bunged in an island and got a better score, and they won. Ta-da.
Do you reckon they threw the kitchen? Because it was a lot better. It was an easy fix.
It was an easy fix. Yeah, no, I don't think they threw the kitchen. That's quite a smart thing to do, though. When you know
that's what
you're...
Nikki reckons is you got to throw a room.
Oh.
Because there's no difference between coming second and last, but you throw a room where you've got a plan to fix it, and you just basically got a guaranteed win.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. God, she's smart.
She's smart.
She's really smart.
Yeah.
How did you... Anyway.
You made one mistake and
yes, and then so we leave the show, as we've said, we're sorry about the spoiler, but we leave the show with the exciting news that next week is Powder Room and Stairs Week. and Adam's got some big plans, but it's not for the stairs. What is he planning to do in that powder room is what I want to know.
You live most of your life never hearing powder room.
I know.
And then the block comes along and it's powder room this and that.
I know, and it also... fundamentally, it's completely dissonant with what it actually is. Because powder room sounds like this cool boutique, and it's like actually your worst toilet by far.
Well, it's just a room that's just a toilet and a half sink. That's all it is.
Worst toilet by far.
I don't know.
Sometimes you need those toilets.
You need it. But
sometimes it's nice to be
tiny with a half sink.
Sometimes it's nice to be in a sort of a more cosy space than sort of surrounded by the big old shower and clawfoot bath and wet area.
Bath.
I don't know.
The Queen again.
Reincarnated. Anyway, so it's going to be exciting. Can't wait to see those stairs and those lows. Oh, it's going to be good.
Oh. How many weeks are left?
I don't know.
What's left to do?
Many. I think it's like 2 or 3.
Is there an outside?
There'll probably be like a courtyard or a deck or something, and then there'll be
courtyard week.
Then there'll be
Garage. Oh, have we done garage?
Garage.
Odds and eds. Odds and TK.
Odds and ed.
Odds and ends. I don't know.
Driveway week.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine? Boom. Do the boom. Boom beautification.
I feel like they're really just going to just haul it out, eh?
I can't believe James and Ray got rid of their laundry chute.
Oh, yes.
It was like my one thing I liked.
That was the big controversy, wasn't it?
My God.
I like the laundry chute too. I think that's very practical.
I don't think we've ever been more out on a show than this. This is like really... Like we normally can sort of... or one of us is into it and people are feigning... Like this is... You particularly, Alex. You've just quit so hard on it.
There is so much TV.
Yeah.
We've been doing Below Deck, Masked Singer, CTI, The Block-ish.
The Bake Off.
Other things.
I've been watching Bake Off, House of Dragon, Rings of Power,
Hey, here's a take.
Rehearsal.
I think the rehearsal's bad.
Yeah.
I think it's just not a good show.
Okay, this is interesting.
This is a lot of
I think it's really
take.
complicated towards the end, and I don't think it didn't make me
just
feel
didn't
good.
land.
And I didn't,
I'm like, what happened?
Well,
I know I've got a big theory. Do you want a big theory?
No.
Okay.
What is it?
Okay. Did you ever watch The Romanovs?
No.
So it was a show that came after Mad Men, which Matthew Weiner, the Mad Men creator, is. And to be fair, Nikki liked it. And I think it was sort of good, but it was also 6 loosely linked movies. And it was, and Amazon Prime bought it because they were just like, whatever you want, Matthew Weiner, you can have it. And I think that's what's happened with Nathan Fielder. He makes this amazing show, Nathan Fielder, for Comedy Central. There's a bidding war. HBO are like, we'll give you no notes, just go off and make your show. You're a crazy auteur. It's like, people need notes. You can't just go and make a thing and just that it's just you and your brain. Like you got to make a format. Like you got to try and make something for an audience. The rehearsal just was like weird and boring and not good. And that's the end of my sermon.
Can we just clip that and run that for the fold next week? Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
The Bear. You watched it?
Love it.
Incredible.
So good.
So good.
And that's a tight 22 minutes of time.
Bang.
So great. I just inhaled the whole thing. Also, as I sort of mentioned earlier, I'm playing League of Legends now. I'm a gamer after watching players.
I think you've been a big gamer for a while, because remember when you got into crypto, play to earn games?
Yeah, I didn't. That dropped off.
Yeah, Axie Infinity had that big hack.
This one's just for fun now. Just for fun. Anyway.
I love your journey.
In life in general.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's very free.
I don't know what the destination is, but I'm trying all the things along the way, and none of them are sticking because I have no stickability. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Hey, doing this podcast for a long time, though.
That's right.
8 years. Is it?
7.5.
Long time.
But the spin-off turned 8 on Saturday. No one knows.
Did it?
This. Yeah. Did. Cut it, Ethan.
8 years
Cut it.
old.
I know.
Thanks, bye.
And then the Queen died.
Bye.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, Senior Writer at The Spinoff. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, Podcast Manager at The Spinoff. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spinoff member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spinoff Podcast Network.